Sentient Sessions, court back in session. I have a message for you. Are you ready for it? So I'm going to pull from my Soulful Woman deck because I love this deck so fucking much. I love this deck so much. It has been so helpful. Again, this is like one of my first decks, and it always, every time I touch it, I'm just like, oh my, wait, did I ask you how you feeling? How you feeling? You feeling good? I'm feeling a lot. I don't know, I'm feeling good, but like, I don't know. Every time I move through the energies, every time I move through the readings, I be like, oh my God. So we're going to the Soulful Woman deck as like a rewind, cleanse. The thing about these cards, every time I pick them up, I feel like I want another deck. I just don't know what deck it is. It's just like, I know there's gonna be a deck that I find that I really enjoy. But yeah. So boom, service as co-creation. My service, no matter how great or small, is a conscious act of co-creation with the world. And then I'm gonna pull another card, and then I'm gonna get into my other cards. Oh, that was too many. I'm gonna do it again. Lord. I guess it wants to come out like this. So we got the feminine law of attraction. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. And then we got asking opens a pathway. When I ask questions of my inner being, I discover that beautiful and helpful answers always come to me. So let's go into, bitch. I'm gonna get the booklet. All right, 1 second. Service is co-creation. My service, no matter how great or small, is a conscious act of co-creation with the world. Service as co-creation. No matter how great or small my act of service, it resonates and grows, drawing me into connection with kindred spirits. My service in the world is an evolutionary process. It calls me to make regular, discerning choices that are aligned with my highest spiritual intention. Excuse me. It is through my service that I devote myself to a life of kindness, compassion, patience, and good humor. And while I may not always succeed in serving perfectly, I'm committed to offering up this prayer of service, knowing that my fears and illusions drop away when I stand fully in the essence of my heart. So, yeah, I mean, that basically speaks for itself. Yeah, I mean, we're all a part of a collective and all of our efforts matter. So even within like the channel or whatever, like you also have a purpose, and this is in support of your purpose. I want to see you grow. I want to see you live the life that you wish to create for yourself. Yeah. Because you also have something great for you, something great to offer up to this world. All of us have a role that we serve in the collective purpose. So boom, 36, feminine law of attraction. I love the creative adventure that is my life. I celebrate myself as a female creator. I follow the dreams and desires that feel right for me. I'm guided to make the right choices for me, regardless of what others may be doing. I take the next step knowing that the answers and solutions will appear to me as I need them, at the right time, and as I am ready to act on them. I use the law of attraction to gently examine the results in my life, using these results to refine my beliefs, habits, and actions. I trust in the flow rather than following fearful thoughts. I feel gratitude for the opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. I continue to focus on those things that bring me delight and make me eager for more. They're pretty related to each other, but yes, your life is for you to refine. It's for you to decide. Like, I feel like at the core of it, our purpose is to exist. and what you wish to exist as and contribute. And I always think of this scene from like Tinkerbell. So the movie Tinkerbell, like the cartoon movie, in the beginning, you know, the fairy is born and they figure out what it is that she does or what she's attracted to. Like that becomes her power, her gift, right? So like they'll have all these like different elements or something like presented in front of them. And Tinkerbell was like, she was hatched or whatever the hell that was, but she was hatched from a flower, and she comes and she starts touching different elements and like she's failing and shit like that. But like the hammer, she's a tinker fairy. The hammer just started like to like levitate, and it was just so powerful, so strong. They're like, we haven't seen anything like this. Like you align in this life to the things that you're meant to align to. Like you become the creative that you're meant to be, or the whatever it is that you do. Because I believe that every purpose, you know, is important. Like even with community efforts, there's somebody that I met. He's extremely gifted at business, like mad gifted at business, but he doesn't really pick up on art, but he's in support of artists because he's extremely gifted at business. Like your purpose serves a collective purpose, and whatever you're gifted is your unique talent, your unique skill to present and to nurture. Like, you know, and I feel like with everything that you're meant to be doing, there are fears, you know, there's situations that instill fears in you for you to unlearn, but those fears can also help you be better. Like, okay, one of my biggest fears that I've had to unlearn to be able to do this is talking. Like I love to talk, right? But when it comes to talking publicly, like it took me such a long time to learn how to talk the same way I used to talk when I was younger. When I was younger, I was so gifted at words. Like I learned how to read quickly, I learned how to write quickly, and I would play around with my writing, and it would be funny, like the way I would write. Like in preschool, there was something that used to happen where I would accidentally write out like cuss words. Like I would be writing out cuss words, and I used to talk, like I would have like full blown conversations with my preschool teachers, like talking about things that I probably like talking about my household. And that was the problem. So because I talked about my household a lot, you know, I got like punished for that a lot. So like my family used to have like names for me, and they would make fun of me for talking, or like they would have names for me. Like one of my cousins used to call me Abloa, which means I think big mouth, because I would talk about the shit that happened at home, and people aren't really comfortable with that, especially in family units. So if you are someone who's like a whistleblower or born to be a whistleblower, of course you're shut up. And that has transformed over the years. Like there's been times where I was extremely shy. I was extremely shy because I was scared to talk. Because every time I did talk, I was punished for it. So I've had to learn how to use words. I've had to learn how to communicate what was going on. I had to learn how to share. And I've seen over the years the ways that things have transformed or helped me transform. Like my first form of really expressing myself was poetry. I'm very good at poetry. Like I can make a poem in like 5 minutes. I was extreme, like I would make poems expressing the ways that I felt, the things that I couldn't say in words. I would share it publicly, my poems. And then I would try to make videos, but I would shut down, fall into depression, be like, oh my God, no, like this is not what I can't do this. I can't do this. But then, you know, it was like a process of falling down and getting back up again, falling down, getting back up again. And here I am. Like I was always talking about like spiritual matters. I've always been this person like exploring spirituality, exploring, you know, the other aspects of reality, because I've always had weird experiences. So I see how I've come to be this person that I am today. And I know that there's more in store for me. Like I am going to have, like me talking is going to present me with more challenges, but it's also going to present me with more freedoms from unlearning those fears. I've had to unlearn fears around talking, which means I've had to delve into my childhood so many times in order to understand like my purpose. I love words. I love words. Like there's nothing I love more than words. I love words. So everything that you're meant to be doing will present you with challenges, will present you with fears, will present you with, you have to work towards the goal, like the goalpost. Let me say, I want to say the goalposts keep changing, but that's not exactly what I'm trying to get at. But you always have to continuously go within. You always have to continuously go within and understand different aspects of yourself that hold you back from living or being that person that you desire to be. Because that person that you desire to be is that person that is there because you are supposed to be that person. You get what I'm saying? Like the finished result is already there because you envisioned it. But you're supposed to go through the process of becoming that person. And the process of becoming that person is not going to be an easy process. It's not an easy peasy process. You don't wake up one day confident. You don't wake up one day, ready to take on the world. You learn how to take on the world. You learn from your experiences. You learn from the mistakes that you make. You learn how to become that person who you've always seen yourself becoming. Life is just take you on a journey to that. And you have to lean into that journey. We psych ourselves out most of the time. I feel like a lot of people, you have to really think about it. Imagine how many people have been so close to something and stopped right before it because it's something that's happened. And then I also like to reference to Pam Grier. So Pam Grier, there's a story, like she was supposed, I think I've shared it before, but like, I can keep sharing shit over and over and over. But Pam Grier was supposed to get, she was with this basketball player. Abdul Jamar, what, I don't remember. But she was with this basketball player who was Muslim. And she was like about to audition for something, and he asked her to marry him, but the compromise was that she becomes Muslim and she stops dressing so provocatively. So she had to stop. He wanted her to convert to Islam and stop dressing so provocatively. And she was just like, no. And like right after that, yes, he got married to somebody else, and he would he rubbed that shit in her face. But then she was like propelled into stardom because she refused to change who she was for the love of her life at the time. So I think of things like that. Like things present themselves right before something happens. Like right before something happens, you're faced with something to sacrifice, I would say. Like you're faced with something that's actually an illusion that is falling away right before a big break, right before something great transforms. I feel like something like it's called Bridge of Events, and it's called like Bridge of Events. So sometimes we be in those Bridge of Events, and that thing that happens make us feel like this is not possible. Like it's so far from our intended ending, like our manifestation. We're so far from it. But the thing is, that thing be happening to prepare you for it. Like, are you really who you say you are? Are you willing to sacrifice this thing that actually isn't you for what you want to be? And she has a podcast where she talks about all her experiences. And when you listen to her life, like you can hear the ways that different things presented before her biggest breaks, before like something amazing has happened to her. And it's the same thing, like even when you I love listening to Eartha Kitt's life. Like Eartha Kitt had a life. Like when you listen to different celebrities, authors, different people, creatives, when you listen to their lives, right before something happens, usually they have an experience that makes them feel as though like they're not going to be able to accomplish that thing. So bridge of events, you know, sometimes the illusion of the 3D is that whatever it is that you want is not possible, and you have to keep believing and working towards it, striving for it, because that thing comes in a way that you do not expect. And also it also comes in a way to make you examine, what is it that you truly want? What do you truly want? I feel like I've had a lot of examinations of fame, right? What is fame? What is celebrity? What is influencer? Like, what is it? Because I feel like the system of fame as we know it is falling apart because it's not real. It's an illusion. So it's like, okay, so what is the purpose of you working towards this thing that you're working towards? Like, as an artist, what is it that why are you an artist? Like, really ask yourself, why are you an artist? Why do you want to speak so much? Why do you love business so much? Why do you want to do this? Like, what is the result that you hope to attain from doing this? And usually it should be to want to do this more. To want to do this more. I mean, I can't tell you your motivations, but life will break you down to truly understanding your motivations and where they're coming from. Like, what are your motivations truly for this thing that you desire? What do you really want? What place is that coming from? Because, you know, if you say, oh, I want fame, why do you want fame? And a lot of times you look at yourself, when I was a child, I was ignored, I was neglected. Fame is going to make me feel seen. But the thing is, there's things that come, like when you do things for the art of it, when you do things for the craft of it, when you do things for the importance of it to you, it's different than working towards something that validates you. You could say you want fame, and it's only because it's coming from a place of validation. It's not coming from a place of wanting to truly be of service. It's not coming from a place of wanting to truly give back to your collective, to your community, it's not coming from that place. You do it because it makes you feel something that you felt like you lacked. And that's not a bad thing. I'm saying really examine your motivations. What are your motivations for the things that you do? What are your motivations for real? Like, why do you do anything? Life puts you in a position where you really have to question yourself. And I say go to that. I can't remember what the name of the podcast was, but I would say go to it, because she really like explains like her life, her motivations, like her stepping out on limbs. Like, she really, like, a lot of the people, especially the older starlets, like they really had to Eartha Kitt was like basically she was blacklisted in America for about 10 years before she came back and still was like propelled into stardom here. She had to flee America. But she loves her art so much that she's willing to do that. She had to take care of her child. She's willing to do that. That's some shit that makes you really examine if what you do is worth it. Is it worth this? Is it worth this? Like, everything has a positive and a negative to it. And sometimes the negative situations arise so you could truly understand the positives of what it is that you desire. Your motivations. Like, your motivations, that's the theme right now. Like, your motivations are so important. That is what I suppose opens up more doors for you to really know and understand your motivations. That is why you're put in positions where it seems like what you do does not work out. But it's because you need to understand your motivations at a base level. What if this thing never takes off? Would you still do it? Would you still do this thing if nobody ever sees it? Would you still do it? Would you still be an artist if you never were validated as an artist? Would you still be an artist if people hated your work? Would you still be an artist would you still create? Would you still create? Would you still create? Would you still create? Would you still create if nobody cared? Would you still create? Examining your motivations. Because you never truly know how something is going to play out, even when it seems really outlined to you. Let me tell you again, like, I be making this, like, that's why I say, especially if you're trying to do something with the intentions of fame, you got to understand that the clauses that come with that, people end up in bad contracts. People end up being taken advantage of for decades. People end up not owning none of their work. Like, you got to really think of your motivation so that you truly understand how to protect what's yours. So you truly know what it is that you stand for. Because if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. If you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. So asking opens a pathway. Whenever I don't know what to do, I turn within and ask for guidance and answers. Then they come. Sometimes slowly, sometimes quickly. A knowing, a sense, an image, a name, a next step, a possible pathway. I'm discovering that answers come to me when I ask for them and when I give myself enough time and space to listen for them and receive them. I know that it is essential for guidance with the expectation that I will receive it. I wait calmly and quickly for fresh insights and ideas to flow towards me. Asking gives me a sense of positive expectation and opens me to a world of possibility. I am learning to ask wiser questions all the time. Asking yourself, like, this is not even, like, again, asking yourself what your motivations are. That is a wise question, and you have to keep checking with yourself. I pray, like, for me, I pray no matter what I open up to, what I start to do, like, whatever opportunities I align to, that I am continuously working from a place of genuity. Like, I want to continuously be authentic. I want to make decisions even if, because I feel like I've turned things down that I knew came with, like, strings. I don't like strings. I don't like when strings are attached to anything. I don't like strings. You need to ask yourself the questions, like, is this really, like, my worth? Like, am I worth this? Like, do I deserve this? Does this deserve me? Like, knowing yourself, knowing your motivations, asking these questions, these tough questions, really opens up to more authentic opportunities for you to create new, for you to have more control over your art. Because that's the thing, the only thing that you can control, yourself and your creations. Sometimes, like, there's been books that have been turned down multiple times, but the belief that author has in their books is the reason why that book propels, becomes, I think that was Harry Potter. Like, I feel like, I don't remember, don't quote me, but I feel like some books have failed over and over, but the right person finds them because they believe in the same vision that author holds, because that author never gave up on their vision. I don't know if it's Harry Potter, but I feel like there's books like that. Like, the author never gives up on their vision. But you also have to know how much you love your art, how much you love your creation, because people will put a price on things. People will tell you what things are worth. People will tell you what you're supposed to be doing. People will tell you how to make this better. People will tell you to change in this way and do that and do this. But you want to stay authentic to your art. You want to stay authentic to your creation. You want to. You don't want to do what other people are telling you to do. You want to be who you are. But it takes a lot of questioning. You need to sit down and question yourself often. Asking opens the door to new information and fresh energy and to the unexpected. That was, I don't know if I need to pull any more cards, because I feel like that was a message overall. Like, knowing why you want to do what you do. Like, why do you want to do this thing? Like, how important is this thing to you? Like, what does this mean to you? To what capacity are you willing to do it if it means that, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you only doing this thing for the purpose of a result? Like, is it only because you want a certain result that you do this thing? Like, what is it that you feel from this thing that you do? I feel like you got to have a certain insanity with your creations or the things that you're good at. Like, the type of insanity I'm talking about is like, even when it seems like it's failing, you got to keep going. Even when it seems like it's not, like, even when it seems like it's not being received well, you got to keep going. Like, oh my God, I like to think about Kanye. Kanye produced Through the Wire with his jaw wired shut. Do you understand how much love you must have for a craft to be willing to do it when you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you willing? Like, how much do you love your creation? How much do you love what you do? Doing it for the art, doing it for the sole purpose of doing it. Even when you receive all this, like, it don't matter. Like, you make the art for the purpose of art's sake. You do it for art's sake. Even, I'm talking about art, but like, even with chefs, you do it for the purpose of that love that you have for it. You do it for the purpose of the love that you got for it. Insanity. I feel like love, being a lover of something is a form of insanity. I call myself insane because I'm a lover girl. But my lover girlness means I love my creations more than anything. Like, I'm like, the things that I do, I'm so willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to sacrifice so much just to keep doing the things that I enjoy doing. And I have. Just to protect my art, just to protect my ability to talk. Like, I have sacrificed so much, and I will continue to do so because I really love what I do. It don't matter what life is showing me. It don't matter how things is received. It don't matter. Like, I really love the things that I do, and I'm willing to just keep doing it. It don't matter. Like, and that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And I'm telling you, I be fought on some shit. Like, so many things that I've done have failed over and over and over, and I just keep doing it because I love it. Like, and I love what it's become, regardless of how many times. Let me show y'all something real quick. All right, let me show y'all something. So last year I started by making this crown, right? This is a crown. It's not bad, you know what I'm saying? This is the first crown that I've made. Well, not the first crown, but the first like metalwork crown, because I make other crowns with like beads and chains. So I started making the crowns with beads and chains. They had like a like the way that it was like it had like a structure issue when it was beads and chains. Like, it would fall off of people's heads. So I tried to do it with wire. This is the first one I made. You see, like, it's not perfect, you know. It's easy to shape when I put it on, but it's not perfect. This is the one that I made most recently. I made this for somebody's birthday. This is the one that I've made most recently. And it's weird. I make weird jewelry, but I fucking love it. Like, I love this. Like, I love it. Like, I do this for the love of it. Like, everything that I do it because I love it. Like, I really love creating. I love talking. I love poems. I love raps. I love it. Like, I really do. It makes me happy. And if I had to sacrifice a lot of stuff to keep doing these things, I will. That I will. So that's Sam Sentient Sessions. Session adjourned. Please come back.